Hello and welcome to another episode of the weekly Deathmatch. Before we start this video I would like to address one thing, and that's that yes, I came 6th out of 8 people. That's the second week in a row where I've not had the greatest result at the end of a Quake Champions match, but I recorded a second match where I came 2nd, and I actually feel like it wasn't as fun. I feel like I didn't play as well, which I know doesn't make sense because I came 2nd, but I decided to stick with this one anyway. There were more cool moments in it. There's a bit in the middle where I don't really do well at all. I just die a lot, but I feel like there's parts towards the beginning and towards the end that are fun, so I'm keeping it. And besides, this isn't about gameplay really. The weekly deathmatch is about, it's about two things. The deathmatch and the week, I guess. And my week has been full of World of Warcraft, because Battle for Azeroth came out and it's a good expansion. I hit max level 120. Was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was the day before. But there's still lots to do. The pacing and leveling seems a bit weird lately. In this expansion anyway. They've changed it so, well, they haven't really changed it, but just the way it would normally work is that, at least in Warlords of Draenor and Legion, they worked it out so that you pretty much hit max level as you were coming to the end of a leveling experience, but in this one there's 3 zones, and by the time you finish the second zone you're max level, so you have to do the third one at max level without getting any XP rewards or anything. But it's still bearable to do because the story is amazing, the atmosphere is amazing, and you do still get, like, by the time you hit 120 you're going to be wearing like level 115 gear, level 117 gear, stuff like that. So it's not the most efficient way of getting geared in the world, but it's a little boost to get you to the item level required to do heroic dungeons. But to anyone who doesn't play World of Warcraft right now, that's just gibberish, and you're wondering why I'm talking about an MMO over this awful Quake Champions gameplay. I would have also carried on playing matches until I got a better one, but I'm kind of running out of time because I need to do some stuff today, and I want this to kind of render and upload in the background while I'm doing things. So yeah, if I get interrupted as well at any point, if there's like a cut in the narration here, I apologise in advance. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of Quake Champions lately. Even as World of Warcraft was releasing, whenever I took a break from leveling or whatever, I'd normally just play a match or two of this. I'm more into this game than I ever have been before, and I don't know why. I think it's because they just keep improving it, and I think it's also because I've been over this before in a weekly deathmatch, but I didn't used to have much space, and now I can just have this permanently installed. But even then, like, games like Overwatch, I haven't launched Overwatch in months. Like, since before Hammond was released, I haven't really played it. I played a couple matches just to see what Hammond was like, and I played as him, and he's definitely one of those heroes that you need to learn how to play. I was not effective as Hammond, and I don't really like playing against him either, really. I think he's the first new hero they've released that I'm just not a huge fan of, to be honest. But yeah, once again I kind of came into this video without thinking about what I wanted to discuss. It was mostly just going to be World of Warcraft. But there's not really much to say. When Legion released, I did a whole blog post thing about the leveling experience and then the max level experience, and then I think I did a third post later on. I'm not sure what it was about though. Oh, the third post might have been, I don't know. I did a third post. But anyway, I haven't done anything like that this year. In fact, this year what I did instead was I wrote a short story based on the pre-patch events from my character's point of view, because I'm trying to get more into writing, even if it's just like shitty fan fiction. But my rule for writing World of Warcraft fiction though is not to touch any of the characters that have been established within the game's lore. I'm only going to make my own characters, and they don't shape the events of the world, they're just a part of them, and I feel like that makes it much easier to write, because then I'm not, like, obviously I'm not steering the direction of a narrative. I don't work for Blizzard, so to even pretend to do that is dumb. And then to, like, include characters, like if I was trying to write a scene with Malfurion and Stormrage in it, the whole point of that is if I did do that, then they might change his character in the future or something, and then looking back his mannerisms or whatever might not make sense for what he was going through at the time. Like, they retroactively change, or like they don't retcon things, but like, say, like, we haven't seen like POV of Malfurion or something, and then he's been secretly corrupted all this time. He wouldn't say the thing that like he says in one of my scenes. Is yeah, basically the whole thing is I use the world, but I build my own narrative within that world. So, except this short story was about the burning of Teldrassil, so that's like, I have lots of Night Elf characters, right, and they're all brothers. So that was kind of like a reunion kind of a thing. So I wrote that, and I thought it was cool. Unfortunately, I published it like an hour before the expansion came out, so it didn't really get much attention. But I'm happy with it. It's on my gaming blog if you want to read it, kritigri.wordpress.com. But I should probably write about World of Warcraft on there at some point. But I haven't really got much else to talk about. Like I said, I've just been playing World of Warcraft. What else have I been doing? I wanted to get a week off for the expansion coming out because I'm sad. But problem is I have 2 jobs and I wasn't able to get a proper week off from one of my jobs. But I kind of went with it anyway. And problem is like now I don't feel all that rested or whatever, and I've got work coming up again in a couple of days. So I don't know. I'm just whinging. I'm just a whingy bastard. Also, my nose is a little bit blocked. You might be able to tell. I'm not sure if I sound different. So, Quake Champions, by the way, after I finished this match, I leveled up and I got a loot box and I opened it and I got a legendary railgun. And what's funny is you might have seen me using like some kind of plasma rifle. That's actually the railgun in this game, but there's a legendary cosmetic for it which turns it into the plasma rifle, so it doesn't change anything about the gun. It still acts the same, but it's like it looks different and like it feels like a different gun. Pardon me. So that's cool, and I haven't tested out the new railgun I got, but I think it's from Quake. Oh, is there a Quake 4? See, I really haven't played any of the other games in this series. I've only played Quake Champions. I wonder sometimes if Unreal Tournament got the love it deserved, if what it would be like. Would I be playing this as much, or would I be playing Unreal Tournament? But I figure it's nice to do this map, not this map, it's nice to do another Quake Champions thing to show off the actual gameplay of what isn't just Instagib. So you can see all the other weapons and the actual gameplay and stuff like that. Because, I don't know, the thing is, with Unreal Tournament, I like to play a lot of Instagib and Unreal Tournament. And I do really like the normal game, but I prefer Instagib and Unreal Tournament. Whereas with this, I actually feel like I prefer the normal game. Like, I really enjoy Instagib in this, don't get me wrong, but I just really love how all the guns handle. Like, I'm not sure I use it much in this video, but there is a gun, I don't know what it's called, but it lets you kind of shoot a burst of 3 bombs that stick to surfaces and then explode, or they explode on impact if you hit someone. When this game first launched, that was a shit gun, but they've tweaked it now and it is one of my favourites. I kill so many people with it, and I think it's still like underrated and like undervalued as a gun to use, and like a lot of people die because of it. If they see me shooting at them with it, they just keep pushing on and into me, and I'm just like, man, you are taking a lot of damage right now, what are you doing? But yeah. Also the other match I recorded, the one where I came second, that one was also in Molten Falls, the map we did last week, so I wanted to, another reason I chose this match was to diversify it a little bit so you could see another map. I'm quite happy with the maps that are coming out in this game, to be honest, and the soundtrack as well. I'm not sure how well you can hear it, because I'm definitely going to have to turn the sound down in editing, because my game was up quite loud. But the soundtrack is so good. It is so good. They've recently redone it. They've got the guy, I'm not sure if you know the indie game Dusk, but it's basically a Doom-like shooter, and they got this guy who did Doom soundtrack remixes, like heavy metal versions of the original game remixes and stuff like that, I think. They got him to do the soundtrack, and then I'm pretty sure id looked at that and they were like, or they looked at his Doom soundtracks as well, and they were probably just like, yeah, we should just hire this guy or commission him, or however that works. But the new soundtrack is so good. But what makes me sad is that there were some other soundtracks before they redid the soundtrack that I really liked as well, and I haven't heard them since, and I'm worried they've just removed them, and I hope they don't do that. Like like there was a soundtrack, that was a lot of stumbling over that word. There was a soundtrack in the map, Burial Chamber, and it's such a good soundtrack. It's just not there anymore, and I miss it. Like, I like the new one as well, but I miss the old one. Apparently I got 0 lightning gun kills in this match, which is funny because I used to lightning gun quite... No, I just got one there, didn't I? Huh. Maybe I'm thinking of a different match. Because I remember it came up, it was like, it shows me stats at the end of a match, it was like lightning guns kills 0. And I was like, why? Why would you show me that? Show me like another gun that I actually did get kills with. I don't know. There's still some things about this game which are a little bit confusing, but I'm sure they'll iron it out. But I have far less issues with this game than I used to. The only issue I really have is it still doesn't play that well with Nvidia Shadow Play. As you can see, I still got a few lag spikes during this recording. And for some reason though, even though I can record, I can't really like have it just background recording. I guess it's because it's deleting as much as it's like writing to the disk, so it's probably a little bit more intensive. But it's a shame. I don't like games that don't play well with Shadow Play. The only other one I can think of is Fortnite, and I haven't really played that for a long time now. I'm gonna not hit my 100th tier in that season, but oh well. Oh well. I won't let games become chores like that. That's not a fun way to play games. Anyway, thank you for listening to this ramble. It was quite rambly this week. I was hoping that would kill me instantly, but it didn't. Sad times. I just want to die.